Hello, my name is Josh. I'm the Executive Director of Thrive Center, and I wanted to take a few moments to present to you the Thrive Washington plan that I developed. First, what does it mean to thrive? To thrive is for individuals to grow to the fullest potential of who we uniquely are. And individuals need families because families are the basic support structure for individuals. They provide them language, culture, worldview, life and relational skills, and ultimately the love and nurture we all need to grow. But communities are the basic support structure for families, providing families and individuals to care for their basic needs, connection for friendships and mentorships, completeness in growing the skills to grow in body, mind, and spirit and face life's daily challenges, a sense of character in their identity and morality, and calling to learn and live out their purpose. As communities and families help individuals grow healthy and strong and pay it forward to give and serve in their communities, creating thriving communities, thriving families, and thriving lives. But unfortunately, that's not the way that it's happening. Communities aren't always coming together, and organizations often work in silos. And so that creates a disconnected maze for individuals and families to navigate. They have to find out what are the resources and services that are out there that's relevant to their needs, and then they have to navigate all the eligibility requirements and program information to find the help that they need. What this does is, as organizations don't work together, they don't recognize gaps in service in the city or in the community. And so there could be ways that people are falling through the cracks because there's no service or resource out there to help them. It also creates potential duplication in services where they don't realize that they're doing something that is actually duplicating efforts in the community, and community resources could be more effective in being addressed elsewhere. Maybe there's 50 different backpack programs in the community, and maybe we need 50 different backpack programs, but we don't know unless we have a conversation about it, unless we're coming together. What this also does is it makes families feel like there's not one community supporting them, and families need support. Psychology Today says it may be romantic to tell your lover that they're the only one you'll ever need, but in reality, intimate relationships can only thrive when they're embedded within supportive social networks of family and friends. So without community, families must shoulder all the responsibilities of family life themselves. And in this complex world today, many families, especially when going through a crisis or with the additional challenge of poverty, become crushed under the weight of the pressures of life, leading to dysfunctions in the home, divorce, and a lack of parent in the home, usually the father. And as individuals lack community and family supporting them, then oftentimes they feel like they're trying to jump up a cliff of filling all these needs that they can't fill themselves. This cliff represents Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and they're trying to fulfill all of their needs, and it seems like too much, like the cliff is too high, or it's a chasm that's too wide to be able to jump across. And when this happens, when communities don't come together and families go through dysfunctions or even divorce, that oftentimes leads individuals into desperation where they act out through crime or they try to escape through drugs, and then that harms the community even more. Barack Obama showed an example of this in his 2008 Father's Day address. He said, "We know the statistics that children who grow up without a father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit a crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of schools, and 20 times more likely to end up in prison. They are more likely to have behavioral problems or run away from home or become teenage parents themselves, and the foundations of our community are weaker because of it." Alan Graham, co-founder of Community First Village, which is a national model of helping chronic homelessness individuals get out of homelessness, said that homelessness is caused by a profound and catastrophic loss of family. The Community First Village is the recognition that human beings need to be in relationship with each other, and that housing will never solve homelessness, but community will. See, the best prevention programs are not prevention programs. People are less likely to end up in homelessness, crime, drugs, or other social ills, and more likely to live up to their potential when they're supported by thriving families and thriving communities. The most preventative action we can take and save money on reactive programming is to cultivate thriving communities and thriving families. In conclusion, We have to direct people to relationships, not just resources, to see them break the cycle of poverty and move toward wholeness and their fullest potential. And so this is the problem. Now, what do we do about it? The vision is that we would create a community hub where people can find holistic support for their needs, providing pathways for them to thrive. And this is a model of what it could look like. First, we have the community coming together through an annual partnership summit where service leaders in the area or the city come together to talk about what are needs of people in our city, what are services that we have to fulfill those needs, where are there needs that lack or simply don't have services, and then how can we partner together to brainstorm and implement solutions to those gaps in services. And then throughout the year, people work in working groups that are based around an issue. So whether it's housing or healthcare, education, employment, or another issue. And they create vision for programs, either that's new programs or that's new approaches to current programs. And then they create proposals that they can give to funders who are interested in funding partnerships. And the funders vet those proposals and fund the proposals. And then we have volunteer and leadership training to help staff those new programs or new approaches to programs. And so we see individuals being able to enter all those new programs or new approaches to programs through a call center, much like something like 211. And they can be given some initial navigation to basic resources, to resources for their basic needs. And then they can be connected to a Thrive Navigator. A Thrive Navigator is over a city or a small group of cities, and they will take more time to be with that client. It's more like a mentor, not just a navigator. And they are then also providing them holistic support. So not just directing them to resources for their basic needs, but also to events and programs and groups for them to get connected, for them to find classes so they can grow in body, mind, and spirit. And they can find volunteer opportunities because people aren't just needs, they're also assets. And they also have strengths to be able to give back to community. And through this, we can create stable, connected, whole, and purposeful individuals and families. Well, thank you so much for looking at the Thrive Washington model. I would love to hear any questions or comments that you have. You can email me, Joshua S. at thrivecenter.life. That's JOSHUAS at THRIVECENTER.LIFE. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.